dear ones. I'm very excited today to share a reading testimony from a reading I did for Chelsea. If you haven't seen the live reading I did for Chelsea a while back, you can go look in my videos and find the reading for Chelsea, and you'll see the reading that took place between her and her grandmother, and then her brother, who ultimately ended up coming through for most of the reading. So press pause if you haven't seen it, and then come back to this video. For those of you who've already seen it, I'm just going to read what Chelsea wrote to me via email about her experience after and what the validations were that came through that in the moment she hadn't even fully understood or connected the dots on. So it goes, Dear Ash, first off, I just want to say thank you. Your gifts and abilities are so life-changing. I had to take a second to take everything in because I've been waiting for this moment for so long, to connect with my brother. It's always felt like something that only happens to other people and never in real life to me. So to experience it for real is beyond words. It opened a door for me of possibilities and is quieting some of the skepticism or moments of doubt I've had in the past. I have to be honest, after the reading, my mind was fighting with my heart. It was finding every way to doubt that this could even be real. But all of your validations were there. Thank you for bringing such a trusting energy into the space. I followed your work and listened to your podcast for a long time and immediately felt drawn to try and get a reading with you. I am so glad I trusted my intuition on that. You bring such a warmth to what you do, and it emanates through your work and brings such a trusting, comfortable space to open up into. Ooh, I'm glad. There were so many real validations that just blew me away in my reading with my brother. Let's start first, though, with my grandma. So, after the reading, I was filled with so much wishing that I had been able to take her in more while I had her in the space and when she arrived first in the reading, and wishing I had reflected that love back to her more in that moment. She left me with so many real validations, things I didn't even know about her life. I forgot about this, but after my grandma passed, my uncle sent me a bunch of pictures of my mom when she was little with my grandma, and they're all outside in nature. And my favorite one of them is this beautiful picture of them in a big open field. Okay, for those of you who watch the reading, you already know. This is how, so I want to pause and just say, the beginning of this reading, I opened up and I had an elderly grandmother coming through, and I had just seen her in this big field, like dancing and moving. And I was like, she's dancing and moving in a field. And Chelsea was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I don't know. I have no idea. I had no idea. So this is what I'm talking about. It's amazing. You know, you just got to trust what the flow is. You got to trust what's coming and just get it out. It's not about you. It's about spirit. I even had this picture on my phone background at one point, and I remembered this after the reading. I attached this to the email so you can see too. My mom also gasped when she listened to this with me and told me that when she was little, my grandma was in the garden all the time with my grandpa and had a ton of plants, which I truly didn't even know about her life. So I want to point this out too. I ask for the spirits that come through to do double or triple validation. What that means is that I asked them to bring things through I wouldn't understand and the person in front of me wouldn't understand, but someone else would understand. Once that person talked to them or shared the reading with them, they would validate. So that person isn't even in the room, isn't even in the house, it isn't even in the space, right? They are the ones who knows the validation of that, but I don't know, and the person I'm reading for has no idea. That for me validates that I'm not just reading someone's mind, but that actually there is a spirit, there is a being here with me, and that they're able to bring through information that only select people in the family know and would be able to then tell the person who's receiving the reading after the fact, right? So, yeah, I like to do this just because it's important to me for validation and for knowing what I'm interpreting is correct and to have the highest integrity while I'm doing it. Okay. Further validations came when you described the relationship with my grandma and my mom. the distance she placed between them, no physical touch or warmth, the judgmental jabs, all of that was so true and such a good description of the nuanced relationship between them. That's something I think my mom really needed to hear. And I'm so grateful my grandma came through to remind us of the love that was there and let us know she's in peace on the other side, and to apologize to my mom for not always being there. The other nuanced thing that was described in the reading was the way my grandmother thought differently, you said, but also parts of her thinking were old school. She was very superstitious and believed in darker things that not many other grandmas I knew would. Not necessarily a radical way, but like an older woman from Jamaica kind of way. She was kind of hard to crack open in a way. Like it was described in the reading, she was not extremely affectionate, but I always felt her love for me and my brother and my family. I cherish the moments with her that I had. That was beautiful to hear from her and love. And I love that I discovered new things about her and was reminded of the things I had forgotten within the reading. And then with my brother, I mean, I just knew it was him instantly. I mean, the ways that you described him physically and his sense of humor with his jokey, lively, loud spirit, it just felt like he was in the room right next to me. As soon as you said he's posing for me, I mean, instant validation. The jawline comment, everything you said rang true. He was so beautiful inside and out and was literally my best friend. And I looked up to him so much. We laughed together all the time, and it felt so good to laugh with him again. I'm thankful for his prankster, goofy spirit still being fully alive. Ha ha ha. His dreams were so big, and he was ready to dive into them right before he passed away. He was a model, and he was ready to grow in that career and move to the big city. And all of that, what you said, was so true. Wow. Whew. When you were describing in the reading what happened to him, he first validated my family's fear around it being an accident. I know he brought that up right away because of this fear my family has had for so long, especially my mom after it happened, that there was some sort of cover up. We needed to hear that this wasn't true. Some evidence after his passing wasn't reported, so it was pretty traumatic and confusing, and we needed that closure that it truly was an accident. He knew I needed evidence, that it was really him coming through in order for me to fully trust in this process. And I'm so thankful he passed this message along to his friends who survived it. So much closure and healing is on the way in my family, and I can feel it. Further validations came through as he described my deep, deep feelings of wanting to get my voice out there, but holding back because of my fear and losing sleep over this feeling, literally losing sleep. How did he know that? I've been talking about starting my own little business and podcast around mental health for months now. And it sounds like he's telling me I need to do that stat. Furthermore, he also talked about art therapy, which I almost went back to school for a year ago, and my work in education, which I did for many years. I could go on and on. Honestly, everything he said is just washing over me and helping me to trust in this universe even more. I'm so happy to know that my brother is in such a beautiful place, bouncing around from realm to realm, just like he did in real life and wanted to continue doing. I do believe he knew it existed when he was here on earth, and it sounds like he's having so much fun in it. That brings my family so much peace. I want to thank him for letting us know we will all be together and will continue being together for eternity. I needed to hear this. And that he's still connected to Chico, our dear, dear little Chihuahua, who's also passed on. Chico is very special to all of us and so happy they're together on the other side. What a blessing. It's just unreal. I'm looking at this as a first step into an unknown world where I can begin to open up my trust more to the afterlife and the universe. I've always believed in it, but sometimes doubt would creep in and I would just second guess my knowing. I hope to deepen this trust. I also really want to continue to foster my connection with my brother and family on the other side. Thank you so much for this, Ash. I really appreciate you. Thank you for you gifting me with this indescribable experience that I'm still processing. It just will always be in my heart forever. Sincerely, Chelsea. Wow. Thank you so much for writing that, Chelsea. And thank you to your brother and your grandmother for coming through so strongly and powerfully. That will always stick with me. So many of these readings stick with me forever. I mean, I'll never forget them. How could you forget energies that come into your body for an hour? Like it's hard to forget that. There's a sense memory, a cellular memory of that experience, and just all the validations they brought through. Um, there is so much more, y'all, than what we can see, what we can perceive in this physical world. There is so much happening all around us, and we're all open to it if we choose to be. So I want to thank you. I hope that you feel loved. I hope you feel supported. And I hope that you feel the magic and mystery that is around you right now.